To read about it. There's lots of information online or disinformation online. So we are hoping to get together a group of people who are building on AI. That's most of you here actually building with AI and share information. So the purpose of this event is not that we have panels. So we'll have the panel, we'll get people to speak about what has been their experience in building or what are the challenges they see. But the purpose is not that. The purpose is to build a community, to foster us all coming together, because the challenges are many. AI is a new field. It's relatively, the number of experts, real experts will be very, very few today. So all of us experimenting, all of us will have different lessons. We would have solved different parts of the puzzle. If we put that together, hopefully our knowledge together will be much larger than our individual knowledge today is. And that's the purpose. Now I'm going to just get Latika to come in and talk a little bit about Microsoft, because we're doing it at their lovely office. They've been kind enough to host us here. And of course, we all know that Microsoft has made a really nice bet on the AI field with the OpenAI investment. So I'm hoping we'll get access to some of that good stuff.
Hi everyone, good afternoon and welcome to Microsoft. My name is Latika Pai and I lead the VC and private equity partnerships with Microsoft. What that means is we partner with investors like Rahul and I see Venkat in the audience in terms of helping their portfolio companies adopt our technologies. Like Rahul mentioned, I think I joined Microsoft about 6 years ago, and at that time it was absolutely a challenge for people, for startup founders, in terms of wanting to adopt Azure, right? They would always pick my call and they say, yeah, we're born on another cloud. Why should we move, etc. Today I tell everybody, "Achhe din aage," because it is today. They don't pick up my call because they like me. They pick up my call because they need me, and Microsoft, right? So it's a phenomenal time to be here at Microsoft, and in terms from an industry perspective, the kind of use cases we are seeing, not just here in India, but globally, are mind-boggling, right? And I think the opportunity is phenomenal. I think what we're doing as Microsoft, most importantly, is ensuring that there is a responsible AI, that we take that extremely seriously. There is data and privacy that's involved, and that's why I think the advantage of being on Azure, and more importantly, providing everyone, because it's just literally, in 12 months ago we were talking about the possibilities. Now we're talking about actual use cases that have gone in production. So I have my colleague Sham, who's going to be on a panel. He's been at the forefront of helping unicorn customers actually adopt Gen AI and some of the use cases that we're seeing. We have Aditya Nabi, if you all could come up in front, just in terms of so you all know who is there from Microsoft in case you need any help and support. They lead the startup activity for us here in the South. Most importantly, I think what we are looking at doing is creating, this is not just an event for the sake of an event. I think it is, when Rahul talked to me about it, it's very important from all of us to learn. Not when I say all of us, including Microsoft, to understand some of the challenges. Every day I'm working and speaking to, so on Friday I was speaking to the CIO of Parsons Packaging, right, which is one of India's largest packaging companies, and he was saying, okay, how do I use generative AI? What are the use cases? So we looked at a couple invoice processing. We looked at how they could use Copilot. What is the benefit of Copilot? If those of you haven't used Copilot for modern work, that's Teams and Outlook, etc., please use it. I'm convinced it was made specially for me because I wasn't, so right now we have Teams going on. At the end, if you have Copilot running, it will tell you, give you all the meeting minutes that you need, if there are any actions that that were assigned to you, and you don't need a note taker anymore. So some of these which are there in day-to-day lives, right? I think we have a most serious set of founders here creating some deep, I would say, solutions for the industry. But most importantly, like I mentioned, we're here to help you all. We're here to learn from you. In a few weeks, we are actually looking at launching a program called the AI 100, where we want to work with 100 of the most promising. We'll work with everyone, but this one is to make sure that the startups who really need our technical help, how do we get Microsoft Engineering to help you, folks from Redmond to come in and help you, get access to folks from OpenAI to come and help you. I think that's something that we feel that we must do right now to kickstart and accelerate the adoption of generative AI in a responsible manner. So thank you for being here. Rahul, thank you. I met Rahul 5 years ago, and I think he was the first VC who was very, very, very clear. He said, I'm investing in AI startups, right? And he's kept, and it's lovely to see him kind of go from, I would say, a milestone to milestone, growing and building his portfolio very, very well curated, very carefully thought of, and the kind of help and support that SenseAI gives its startups is really phenomenal. So thank you for organizing this event and having us as your partner.
Thank you so much. No, it's always a pleasure to speak to Latika. So that's why when we thought of the event in Bangalore, the first call from my side was to Latika. So thank you again for hosting us and all the support you keep providing the startups. So now let's kick off, let's get the formal part of the agenda going. So I'll invite all the panelists for the first panel to come up. Okay. So Rama, please just come up front. Akshat, come, please come. Sumod. So while let them take a seat, I'm going to just set a context, right? My fundamental belief is LLM is not a panacea. It's not the be-all and end-all of technology or of AI or of anything, right? I'm just going to give you one or two key reasons why I think so. I'm happy to invest in LLM-related businesses, tooling, all of that. Don't take it the other way around. My point is exactly that. It's a technology which hasn't matured. There's lots to be still done. And what do I mean by that? So if you go look at human history and how we became much more productive. So if I take an example from medicine, it's all doctors specialized, right? There are a few GPs, but most other doctors are specialists. No single doctor knows every medical procedure in the world. It's not possible. He can't be expert at it. He can't practice it enough to be expert at it. So thus expecting one LLM to be able to answer all your questions and all domains and all things ain't never going to happen. That's just my view. I'm happy to be proven wrong, but that's the view with which I'm investing today. Which means that you're going to have alternate structures. Now look at, I'll give you a second parallel from human history. So productivity fundamentally jumped in manufacturing when Ford invented the assembly line, which was each worker did something specifically at their station, and then the next worker did something at their station, which was different, right? This gives you two things. Basically, you get discrete steps in a process and you get specialization, right? The discrete steps is also important because if somebody makes a mistake in cutting the leather for a shoe, stitching it makes no sense, right? In software, why we like to discover bugs as early in the process as we can. So, what applies to everything today is very hard to do in AI. AI, we seem to be iterating, we build an LLM, we go do prompt engineering, and then hopefully it works. If it doesn't, then we go do it again and again. But that might not be the right architecture, right? We just don't yet have the tooling which would give us these discrete levels of control. So to me, that is one simple, and there are so many more things I can say. I'm not even talking hallucination or any of that. And when Shivangi comes up and talks about the white paper, you'll hear more about those things. But just try and understand that at its core, it has its strength. It's a great language model. Its understanding of language is better than anything we've ever had. So let's use that. Definitely let's use that. But it is not the answer to every question. It's not the solution to every problem. I mentioned the white paper. We'll be releasing a beta of the white paper to you. And why are we doing a beta is because we think collaboration is important. While we spend all our time looking at AI startups, working with founders and learning from founders. Most of the stuff you see in the white paper is something we've learned from other people, right? And now there's more of you, so we'd love to learn from all of you. So we'd love for you to review the white paper. You'll get a link to that at the end of the event today. Please download. If you have any comments, please feel free to send it in to us. We'll take it into account before we make the final published version up. And we'll credit all those guys whose inputs matter, right? So that's how we're thinking about the white paper, which is why I say collaborative. Now, on that, having said all of that and having said what I had to say about LLMs, so there's lots of other AI, right? And most of which is working well in production today. And I'm sure the panel will give you some of that, plus the issues with LLM. So with that, let's go to, we need mics here. So while we figure that out, I will ask you to just come here, Rama, and maybe you can kick off the panel with telling us a little bit about. So Rama is the co-founder of Kioskin, one of my star portfolio companies. They do beauty, they do skincare, they do dermatology using AI, right? And I'll let Rama talk about a little bit about his journey and what kind of AI they do. Yeah, if you want, you can sit down.
Good evening, everyone. Wonderful to see all of you. Thanks for the introduction, Rahul. I'm the co-founder and CTO at Kioskin. At Kioskin, we have basically built AI dermatologist on smartphone. Anyone can download the app, take a photo of their skin, it will automatically analyze their skin, ask a few questions based on the analysis, and gives a treatment kit. There's a huge journey post that as well. We ship the products, they come for follow-ups and everything. But basically, we have used AI to reduce time for a doctor from 15 minutes to less than a minute by using the power of AI. So AI is doing all the